Welcome everyone, and in this video I will explain to you some of the tactics and strategies you can employ to hold a defensive fortification such as a castle against an enemy force which has besieged you. By the end of this video, you should understand some of the basic techniques you can employ in the defense of a medieval fortification. Before I begin, if you enjoy other videos I've made in the past and want to help this channel grow, you can subscribe. Anyways, the first thing you will need to consider is supplies. The enemy will almost certainly attempt to cut you off from crucial supplies such as food and water. Therefore, before the battle even begins, you, as the commander of your fortification, should always keep in mind the need to maintain large amounts of supplies in your castle or fortification. This is a pretty basic preparation you can do and should never really be a problem. You should also think very early on about requesting a relief force from allies or whoever rules the land that you are defending. This may force the enemy to retreat, giving you a victory, or force a pitched battle outside of the walls between the relief army and the opponent's army, in which you, of course, can intervene with your own soldiers to attack the enemy from another side. When the enemy has surrounded you, there are a few things you can do in response to defend yourself. When the enemy attacks your walls, you can respond with measures such as archer fire and burning oil. These will all serve to confuse the enemy's attack before they even reach your walls. Fire is also very effective against battering rams and siege towers, which are usually made of wood and so are highly flammable. These techniques are all very effective against enemies who attempt to take your walls. However, sometimes the besieging army will not attempt to take your walls first. Sometimes they will attempt to destroy your walls instead, using siege engines such as onagers, mangonels, catapults, or trebuchets. Each one of these is a slightly different variation on what is fundamentally the same thing, throwing large boulders at high speed into the walls of the fortification in the hopes of destroying it. There are a few ways you can respond to this. Once they destroy a section of the wall, you can concentrate your forces in that area, and using the new opening as a choke point, channeling all enemy forces through it and creating a situation of deadlock. If the enemy backs off at any point to reorganize or takes a while to begin their assault, you can actually attempt to create a makeshift wall out of the debris from the fallen one, giving your opponents a slightly more difficult time attacking through it. However, you may not want to let your opponents bombard your walls, prepare siege engines, and acquire supplies while you just stay where you are and wait with your army. Although it is a more risky tactic, a sally out can be attempted in which you would take a party of men outside of your walls to bring the fight to the enemy. Important targets of a mission may include siege engines that you could burn or supplies that you could steal or burn. Taking supplies especially is likely to lower the morale of enemy soldiers and make them less combat effective, as the reduced food will lead to them fighting under the effects of hunger. These are the fundamental tactics of defense of a fortification. I plan on making another video which will cover some of the more advanced tactics and how to command fighting if the walls are breached. For the moment, however, this has been my video on the defense of a besieged fortification. There will be more videos coming very soon. For now, Walete et Ave SPQR.